What's up, guys? This is Jason with Buddha Farms coming to you Friday, March 2nd, 2018. And boy, it is a beautiful Friday. About 60 degrees out here, sunny, clear, nice breeze. Really nice day to be outside. But anyway, what I'm going to do today is show you what I did actually yesterday, where I got a few of my beds ready for planting. I got some seeds in the ground, watered them up, and hopefully they'll get growing soon enough with what I do. I did lettuce, some carrots, beets, and radishes. And I'll probably do today, I'll probably get a couple of beds ready for some spinach as well. But just wanted to go over the steps I do to get the beds ready, the cedar I use, those few things. So step number one, you've seen it before. I use the broadfork, which is essentially just a giant pitchfork looking thing, extremely heavy, but it does the job. It's got a bunch of long tines, stick them in the ground, use the handles, crank it back, and it essentially just lifts the soil up and also helps the seeds grow, the roots grow down deeper, gets that soil life going a little better, a little more nutrients and get deep into the soil. So we got to do that. That's a lot of heavy lifting and some slow work there, but it needs to be done. It's going to be better for the future of the garden and the soil. My second step is, since this is a brand new garden, I went ahead and ordered, well, I wouldn't have done this in the future, but I went ahead and got some garden soil, which is just a mixture of topsoil and a couple of different kinds of compost. Ordered about 8 yards of that, and I'm wheelbarrowing those onto the beds just to, again, for the future, get the soil built up a little better, a little more nutrients, microbes, and also it's going to be a real nice fluffy mix that I can easily plant the seeds in. And so I got to go through, and that's what I'm trying to do with most of my beds here, is get that garden soil on there. In the future, I'll also have my past videos you can see, or my past pictures and posts. I got a guy down the street that has a ton of horses, and he's giving me his horse manure, so I got that composting in another part of my land over here, and I turn that every few weeks. So that's another part. The third part I do, well, after the garden soil dumped on there, I spread it out nice and even. Try to make it as level as possible, which is, you know, pretty straightforward. I use a 36-inch yard rake, and that's just a perfect tool for the bed prep to get it all nice and evened out. Then I come back and I get a mixture of some fertilizer, all organic, blood meal, bone meal, some green sand, and some mushroom compost. I just mix that all in, all pretty much even mixture, and just spread it out by hand onto the garden beds. Then I come back again with the landscape rake, just to spread it out, even it up, get that compost to dig in a little bit into the ground, and then go back through with the rake to make a nice even surface as much as I can, to get ready for the seeds. So my next step, and you'll see here, is starting the seeds. What I got is a earthway cedar. It's not the most expensive, it's not a Jang cedar, it's not a paper plot transplanter, but just starting out, this was a cheap, easy alternative than just leaning over and planting seeds by hand. I think it was 90 bucks, and it does the job. And again, it's not going to be as precise as those more expensive cedars or transplanters, but it does what I needed to do in a fast manner. You can also see I'm not very I'm not very good with keeping straight lines, but you know, it doesn't need to be straight to grow. It doesn't need to be pretty to grow. As long as it grows, I'm happy. I'll get what I need out of it. So I'm going to take you down here. I'm going to show you a little bit of the cedar here. First thing I'm going to show you, when I ordered it, it comes with a few different seed plates, and each one of these seed plates is a different size, different openings, some for lettuce, radishes, some for chard, some for beans, corn, carrots, peas, all that different stuff. And it essentially does it at the right distance, and it tries its best to get 1 seed per hole, but it gets a little more than that, but you will have to go back and seed them, so it's not a big deal. So this is the cedar that you saw in the videos. This wheel right here turns. Let me turn it over here. You can see it a little better. So as this wheel turns, when you're going through, it's turning the gear that's on the side of the hopper, and in that hopper is a little white wheel here. The white wheel itself is where you put these discs on. When you slide the discs on, it digs into the seeds. You dump the seeds in the bottom here. It'll spin, and it'll pick up a seed, and it'll drop it in this little slot. It has a little opening on the bottom, or on the side anyway, that'll drop it down to this chute. In this chute has multi-purposes. You can see this little edge here is going to dig into the soil, and you can adjust that on the side with this little bolt, and you can drop it up and down. I essentially keep it at a 1/2 inch. It drops the seed into the ground after it makes this little furrow, and this chain drags behind it to just cover the soil, all the soil that pushed out of the side, off the side of it. This chain will push it back into the spot, and then the wheel on the back end here will kind of tamper it back down, make a nice another firm surface. So that's it for the cedar. Again, it was a nice cheap alternative, not as expensive as the Jangs, which are 600, 700 bucks, or the paper plot transplanter, which has been getting really popular, which is a couple of $2 or $3 grand once you get all the flats and everything. But hey, maybe in the future, if everything goes well, I'll get that, and everything will be a lot more easier for me. But we're gonna have to start from scratch here, a little more grit and determination, and see how all these things go. All right, guys, thanks for following. I appreciate it. If you would like, subscribe, keep up to date on what I'm doing. Soon enough, in the next month or so, I'll be selling some veg, hopefully, and everything will go well. All right, guys, talk to y'all later.